strongly. Are you holding a side? Why didn't you ask the phone how? The reason why as a young person you is because the of the leader who parade their many certifications, QQQ, QRD, PRP, CCC, WRA. But then there are those who don't parade because beyond the office you offered little value or no value at all. That's the first reason. The first reason why you need to become a person of value is why? Because what? It is what? The fastest route to becoming who? A leader. So if you're here and your desire is to become the next big thing in Ariwa, the next big thing in Nigeria, hear me and hear me well. In my dispensation and yours, it is not going to be the way it's done in the old school. Especially if your last name does not ring a bell in the space that matters. The way to accept. Number two, why do you need to become a person of value? Is someone learning something this morning? I can hear you. Someone learning something this morning? Why do you need to become a person of value? Number two reason. The reason why you need to become a person of value is because it gives you the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of other people. When all is said and done, what will count at the end of your life is what you did for others, not how much you acquired. When all is said and done at the end of your life, what will matter is the difference that you made in the lives of other people. When all is said and done, in spite of our pursuit of acquisitions, what will count is the difference that we made in the lives of others. Third reason why you need to become a person of value. Third reason. It gives you influence. It gives you influence. Someone say influence. Someone say influence. Ha! Are we hungry or tired? Which one? It gives you influence. What is influence? Influence is the ability to shape the thinking and the behavior of other people. When you become a person of value as a young leader, what it does for you is that it gives you influence in society. And with influence, you can do a lot of good. Influence means that your words has the capacity to determine the behavior of others. Your words, when you speak, people are going to respond in a certain way. So someone is here and is saying, I want to help you determine the level of your value. Remember I told you, I said value is in levels, right? Value is in what? I can hear you. Value is in what? So the goal after my session is to challenge you and to inspire you to find where you are in the value chain of life and decide that I'm going to upgrade and go to the next level. I will not be satisfied with where I am. Why? Because becoming a person of value is a necessity. Please hear me and hear me well. It is not a nice have. What I'm sharing with you is not just a talk, is a need have. Is the call of the hour. There is a need and a demand for young people who carry value and they are dispensing value. We need new faces who possess and carry value. So, quick indications to help you understand where you are in the value chain of life. The degree of value that you carry. I hope you know value is not the same. For example, your phone does not carry the same value as the pen you are holding. True or false? When you lose this pen now, you will not worry that much, Abi. But when when you are carrying iPhone, when you are carrying iPhone, say it now, 15 Pro Max now, and something happened to that phone, and then it so happened that it was your life saving that you used to buy. If you are not careful, they will give you drip. All right? Are we together? Are we together? Yes, we're talking about value, right? So here are a few indicators to help you understand where you are in terms of value. Number one, when you carry value, number one, please hear me. When you carry value, people will be willing to pay you for the value that you carry. That's number one. So my question for you this morning is, who pays you? Is anyone even paying you at all? So if you're here and, for example, you're jobless, you're unemployed, okay? you're done with school. By the way, let me talk to those who are not yet done with school. If we have 1 or 2 persons here, please hear me. The era of waiting until you're done with school to start offering value is late. If you're thinking that way, you are 1971. Are we together? It means that as an undergraduate, I can offer value while I'm in school. Is that okay? Number 1, I said what? People will be willing to what? To pay you. So I give you my story. I started my consulting firm. I was an undergraduate in school. Now, by the time I was done with my first year in school, my business was registered already. My first major consulting job came, I was in 200 levels. In fact, when I went to do the job for the organization, they had no idea I was still an undergraduate. It didn't matter. You know why it didn't matter? They didn't even ask me those questions that they are supposed to ask. Why? Because the level of value I was dispensing, you didn't have time to ask me those questions. Am I helping a young person here this morning? Yeah. So I'm not telling you stories. I'm telling you the path I took and the journey I went through. So by the time I was in part 3, I was done reading, in fact, all the books in our personal library, the departmental library. I've read all. Because I was hungry to offer value to my generation, and I saw what that could do to my life and to the people around me. Number 2, indicators that you carry value, the level of value that you carry. Number two, people will be willing to recommend you for opportunities. People will be willing to recommend you for opportunities. Let me say this and say it loudly. Nobody recommends a Dundee for anything. The highest they can do is charity. Are we together? So as a young leader, when I carry value, people are willing to recommend me for opportunities and jobs because I carry value. Mr. Prince said there are 2 types of people on the earth. Value people and asset people. Asset people and liability, right? Asset and liability. So when you carry value, it means you are an asset. And people, therefore, are willing to recommend you for what? Recommend you for what? For opportunities and what? And jobs. So who has recommended you for any opportunity in the past 6 months? Is a test of the level of value that you carry. Number 3, when you carry value, people are willing to partner with you. People want to partner with you. They want to partner with you. They want to partner with you and do things. They want to bring you on board on what they are doing and say, hey, Musa, I'm planning this big thing. I want you on board. People want to partner with you. Lastly, so that will give you the tools for becoming a person of value quickly. Lastly, people are willing to sponsor you. People are willing to sponsor. When you carry value, you don't listen. As a young person, part of the challenge we have is looking for people who will sponsor us. I would say you're looking for sponsorship. In house, sponsor. Please hear me. Listen, tell the person next to you, say carry value. No, say it like you mean it, say carry value. Yes. When you become a young person of value, people will want to sponsor the things that you do. They want to sponsor you. Because everyone wants to associate with people of value. So quickly, how do I become a person of value? Quickly, to round up. How do I become a person of value? So let's do that in the short time that we have. Are we learning this morning? I can hear you. Are we learning this morning? If you're getting value, help me echo the word value. I can hear you. That means you're not getting value. If you're getting value, help me echo the word value. So we're together. So how do I become a person of value quickly? Remember I told you, I said, becoming a person of value is the fastest route to becoming a leader. All right? Yeah. So how do I become a person of value quickly? I'll give you 3 big ideas. 3 big ideas. Now, there's something you must understand about life, that life is designed to reward you, celebrate you, and promote you for the level of value that you offer in life. I'm going to say it again. Life is not emotional. Life is designed to reward you celebrate you, promote you, and honor you for the level of value that you offer or that you bring to the table of destiny. The first way to becoming a person of value is you must develop the mindset of value creators. Number one, develop the mindset of what? Value creators. That's the first thing you must do. You must develop the mindset of a value creator. What is the mindset of a value creator? The mindset of a value creator sees opportunities where others sees crisis. The mindset of a value creator sees profits where others sees problems. When we are gathered as a group of young people and all we're talking about is the 339 problems in our city, the person who has the mindset of a value creator, he is seeing, how can I profit from this problem? In other words, how can I do something about this existing problem? As we're talking about the problems, the person will see opportunities. Someone say opportunity. Someone say opportunity. Yes. He begins to see opportunity. Number one, opportunity to make a difference. Number two, opportunity to grow his influence. Number three, opportunity to start making a living. Adding extra source of income. Because money literally is hidden in problems. So you need to develop the mindset. And how do you develop the mindset of a value creator? By attending high value conversation workshops. Rise up and put our hands together for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, let's do that. Let's do that. Now, please, sir, you know, Mr. Mukhtar is a generous man. You see Victor Prince here. By the way, when you see his training meetings, please, let's sit down. Thank you. He doesn't speak for free. He doesn't. Now, the person standing before you, I don't speak for free. I don't. When I choose to do free things, I do free things. When you attend value conversations like this, something happens to your mindset. Something happens to your mind. Quickly, number two, develop the habit of reading. Become a learner and a reader. Let's go quickly. The second point. How do I become a person of value? Number two, develop the skill sets or develop the skills of a value creator. Develop the skills of a value creator. First of all, you have to develop the mindset, the right mindset. Number two, develop the skills of a value creator. What is a skill? A skill simply talks about the ability to do something very well. That's what a skill is. The ability to do something very, 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 very well. That's what a skill is. And there are basically two types of skills. The first one is inherent skills. This one you came to it to the world. You came with it rather to the world. You were born with it. It is your natural wiring as a person. God actually deposited certain things in the inside of you. It's called your inherent skills. And what basically are they? They are your gifts and your gift, responsibility to your generation and to your world. To identify that gift, refine that gift, develop that gift, and begin to serve it to your generation for free or for a fee. You have that duty. The second type of skills is what we call acquired skills. Acquired skills. These are the skills that you get by way of training, by way of practice, by way of observation, and by way of learning. You learn these skills, and I'll give you a few of those skills you need to develop. Listening skill, the ability to listen. The ability to is a noisy word. Listen, if you don't know how to listen, you miss out on opportunities in life. The ability to listen. Number two, the ability to work with others. These are necessary skills you need if you're going to become a person of value. And number three, communication skills. The ability to communicate your thoughts clearly before any kind of audience. The ability to communicate your thoughts and your intelligence. I have the privilege to sit and interview young persons like myself who are looking for jobs. And part of the challenge is that when they come seeking for jobs and you're interviewing them, so you look at the CV is pretty beautiful. You look at the young man or the young lady, well-dressed and well-suited. But when they sit before the table, right, and you want to engage them, all of a sudden they become mumu in less than 1 minute. They can't express themselves. You're wondering what is wrong. In fact, sometimes you give them time and say, go take water and come back. When they come back, it's worse. How do we employ you based on assumption? You can only be employed for a job when you give us proof that you can do this. Am I communicating? Someone say develop the ability to communicate your thoughts clearly before any kind of audience. I'm going to give you the privilege to do that. I came with one of my resources, my latest book. It's called How to Speak in Public. It goes for 10,000 naira a piece, but for the sake of this meeting, you can get it for 5,000. I came with just a few copies, and then if you need more, we could find a way to get it across to you in Kaduna, but it's just, I think, 3 or 4 that is with me here. So if you need it, you can come get it. Is that okay? Right. Outside here, it's not 5,000. It's 10,000. So you need to develop that ability as a young person, that you can communicate your thoughts. Kagani, Sorodina has to leave you. Do you understand? Shaishadina has to leave you. Lastly, as I round up, I think my time is almost up. Say I have 10 minutes. Okay, so let's wrap up and leave here. Lastly, if you're going to become a person of value, you need to find your platform. You need to find your platform. What did I say? You need to find what? You need to find what? Your platform. What is your platform? You need to identify in life whether you are going to follow a career path or you're going to follow the business path. Very important as a young person. Laziness is not an excuse. If you're going to become a person of value, you can't be sleeping 24 hours watching season nothing. You can't be. If you're going to become a person of value, you can't be occupied with all the nonsense and the jargon on the internet and say you're going to become a person of value. You have to identify your platform of work. Work is the platform that helps you to refine your abilities and to offer value in your generation. So you have to identify quickly. Is it job? If it is job, what do I need to do? I don't have all the time to go deeper into that level of conversation, but hear me and hear me well, there are jobs. You just don't carry enough value to get the job. That's it. Do you understand? There are jobs. If you can upgrade yourself, like I just shared with you quickly here, right? Certain jobs you will get before this year is over. Then quickly, lastly, if it is the business part that is for you, then you need to find a way to start offering value. Someone say, start offering value. Say, start offering value. Life, ladies and gentlemen, is designed to reward you, not based on your gender. Life is not designed to reward you based on the faith that you profess. Life is not even designed to reward you based on your skin color. Life does not reward you based on your height. Life does not reward you based on whether you are slim or fat. Life is designed to reward you based on the value that you bring to the marketplace. And as a young person, hear me and hear me, it doesn't matter whether the name of your father is not a popular name. If you make the decision right here, that when I live here, I'm going to become a young person of value, I submit to you. In the next 2-3 years, there are spaces you will find yourself in and you'll be wondering, how did I enter here? The only reason why you have access to those spaces and those people is because you carry value. Kings are looking for people of value. Generals are looking for people of value. Everything you need for your next level as a young person is connected to becoming a person of value. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the person next to you, say you carry value. I can't hear you say you carry value. I see you on the value ladder. Do have a lovely afternoon.
Please, can I have that book? Sorry. Please. See, this might look small, but this could turn your life around. Now, I was sitting over there and I glanced through just the caption, how to speak in public. And apparently, I have a film school that I actually moved into Kaduna just this year. And I brought a film academy in Kaduna here, and which we're starting by November on the 6th. That's when we're starting. And I think Mr. Enoch, how many do you have here, please? Just 2. Okay, if you permit me, I would like us to talk, because I have a film school, all right, and we deal on things like this. So I would like us to I'm supposed to meet you side by side, but because you say 5K, and I want to use and pin you, say, I beg, my student go buy 5,000. Those in favor say aye. Again, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. So, I would like to get this seriously, because we're starting on the 6th of November. So that is that. Earlier, before I introduce the next speaker, I said something earlier that a gentleman brought a jewelry box, and he wants a lady here to win. So it's a game we'll play on radio. We'll call it Fastest Finger. So we're going to try that here. So if you're a man, you can participate. But please, if you win, you look around and give it to any lady seated next to you. I was asked if I should just pick random, and they said no, that I might pick my girlfriend. I don't have any here. So now bring out your phones. It's worth 750K if you convert to Nigerian currency. So no formal, even if you don't need them, if you win them, if you say give me, if you give my mother the house. So are we ready? Are we ready? Bring out your phones. I'll call a number first to connect to the number. It's the winner. Are we ready? I talk, say, make una bring out on our phone. I want give gift. And na 750,000. If na a man win them, I bet you go give woman. Now for ladies, earrings the inside and now gold. Akwe gold, actually. Okay, so are we ready? 080-730-730-88. First to dial the number. 0807. Huh? It's not going. For the very last time. 080-730-730-88. Eh? It's not going. Eh? Okay, that's my number. So you save it in your phones. If you have events, you can call me. My name is MC Terry. Or if you want to participate in Joe Films, you can. Thank you. So I'm going to call my co-host to MC Terry, MCTERRY. I host weddings, concerts, even morning devotion. Nga kwe seki ukuma kirani au kama MC it. Wato ango ya chewe but that is not your portion though. Okay. I want to recognize Alhaji Ahmed Babangida. Put your hands together for this gentleman. An amazing man. You know, I met this man, let me tell you a short story. I met him in Abuja. I was traveling out. I met him at the airport. And I was having little issues. That's why I say you don't just see people and you just look down on them. You don't know who will help you. Now, I had issues there, and it has to do with actually cash. And my money was not complete. And I met this gentleman here. And he gave me 1 million naira. Immediately, I want to collect the money. I can't wait for dream. So, sir, we are here. I'll collect my money. Thank you very much. Good to have you here, sir. So, can I have my co-host Sashi introduce the next speaker? And there's this beautiful lady that stepped in. She has been busy, but she's here. And her name is Cindy. Cindy, hi. You look fine. Aww. Oh, good way, Joy. You're too beautiful. Okay, my co-host, please, the mic to you as you introduce the next speaker.
trendybeats.com.
Waiting be this one like this. Been through many things, many gist. Oh, I still find my peace in all that. Oh, they do like see me, I know they see.
Okay, so our next speaker for today is Mr. Victor Prince Dixon, who we've all met. So, Victor Prince Dixon solves complex and wicked problems for a living. He is the inventor of common sense. He is a fellow at the Charter Institute of Human Capital Development of Nigeria, coordinator of the World Creativity and Innovative Week Africa, a serial entrepreneur / VC, author, consummate teacher, and trainer. He is the lead proponent of organic intelligence, a master of the knowledge economy, and expert in instructional innovation system designs, VUCA leadership, and women intelligence. He is the founder of Alpha Women Academy, Gwarimpa Business Academy, co-founder of Synergy Agro Allied, executive director of Spice Media, convener of IHC Connect, and the face of human capital for Africa. For over a decade, Prince has committed to building skills and competence for the future through business consulting and productivity coaching. To this extent, he designed numerous personal optimization tools, business models, and leadership maps, such as 60 Seconds, ANTs, Spanish Web, TFQ Knowledge Economy, TFQ Allied Leadership, Human Capital Engineering Canvas, and many more. He has mentored for the Tony Elumelu Foundation, consulted and trained for GIZ, the German corporation, as well as Tier Fund and COPA. Victor has coached over 100 women executives globally. He is the senior partner at Brains and Skills Capital Consult Limited, among many other caps. Victor Prince Dixon is a demigod. Please put your hands together for him.
Bokoli. Father the greatest.
Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause.
No bad song.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, all. Thank you for having me. And again, I want to appreciate the founder of the platform. I remember the first time we met and our discussion began, he was very, very passionate about the youth, bothered about what is happening about Nigeria. And then I simply told him, so the more you complain, the more you are a weak person. Anytime you talk more than you do, then you are not a strong person. That's how you know you're a weak person. If you talk too much rather than you do, then you're weak. It's as simple as that. Because the way the world is divided for those who do. Those who don't do become victims of those who do. It's as simple as that. And what I'm going to be sharing with you might be a little bit disturbing. At the end of the day, you may not like me because I'm going after what you hold very, very dear. But the idea is this. I've trained myself over the years as a teacher not to be like. I've trained myself to tell people what needs to be done. And then you pick it and then improve yourself. Why? Because I know that God will not reward me based on the fact you like me. God will reward me based on the fact that I bring value to planet Earth. And that is why I can look at anybody in the face and tell you what needs to be said. But follow me and then see how we head to. The key thing I'm going to be sharing with you will reveal to you who you are now. Why Kaduna is the way it is, why Nigeria is the way it is, and why Africa is the way it is. Then you now decide what you want to do with it. That's not my own rule. You will decide. It's not my role to decide. I teach a lot of things. She mentioned one of my tools. There is a particular kind of study called biomimetics. And biomimetics simply means look at what God has done, borrow the idea, and use it to solve problems physically. For those of you that have had opportunity to see what they call the Fukushima train, you see some of the fastest train in the world, almost 568 kilometers an hour. What makes that train very fast is that earlier on when it was air and the train was so heavy that it shakes everywhere. All they needed to do was to go and study this bird. If you know this bird that comes to water and just go in, pick fish, and then fly away. And for those who know simple physics, they know that there's what they call surface tension on water. That if you come, the water is a little bit hard and it will make noise. But how will a fish come from the air, come into water, how would the bird come from the air, pick a fish and fly away? So at the point they studied it, they now realized that the beak, the mouth of the bird is so designed in such a way that it can cut through something and then even the environment will not understand. And it is what they now use and design the face of the train. That's why the train can cut through air and become very, very fast. If you study things like the spider too, most of you might not know that the bulletproof you see, whether car or clothes, is made from spider web. Because the spider has what they call tensile strength. It has the capacity to expand and contract it and then bring it into human problem. So the ant, I study the ant a lot. For the past 10 years, I've been studying the ant. And there is something the ant does. The ant has slaves. If the ant sees food that is plenty and they cannot carry, they will go back to the colony and inform the head of the ant that there's enough plenty food, but we cannot carry it. So what the soldiers of the ant will do is they will go to another colony of the ant and kill the mother of the ant. Then gather the children of the ant and then put them, they'll now become the one that will help in carrying the load front and back. So I'm saying this playfully to tell you this. If you are not very careful to build skills and develop yourself, you're going to be a slave. Careful to develop your skills and develop your capacity, you're going to be a slave. You might be angry with the person that has made you a slave, but it's your fault because you've not been able to develop the skills that are necessary. So please, can I have the HD model? Like I shared earlier on when we're doing common sense, I told you there are two people on planet Earth. The first set of people are what you call human assets. The second set of people are what you call human liabilities. The simple English you know again in business is the same thing that apply. A human asset is someone that if you bring into a relationship, you become a better person. If you have them in your family will increase. If you bring them to your business will increase. That's a human asset. A human liability is someone that don't have the capacity to make progress. So they reduce progress. So if you bring them in a relationship, they will bring you low. If you bring them into business, your business will come low. So if you like, invest all the money you want to invest. If you bring a human liability into your business, the business will fail after 2 years. You might get angry with the government, but it's your problem. The bottom line is that you brought the person that cannot move things forward. You brought them into a system, so they reduce the system. The challenge of Nigeria, the state and everything we're facing is we have a lot of human liabilities who instead of increasing, they reduce. Hope you're understanding. Now, the problem is not them. The problem is that, have you ever stopped to ask yourself, are you a human liability? Are you a human asset? So please, can you ask yourself, just ask your neighbor, are you a liability or are you an asset? Seriously, ask yourself, are you a liability or are you an asset? You are an asset. You don't say you are an asset. It is what you do that says you are an asset. And I want to show you how human assets and human liabilities are designed. What eventually make us become human liabilities and assets. So can I have the HCD model, please? Okay, this is one of the models. I have about 26 models I use in teaching. And this is not a master class. So don't expect us or this program to solve a problem of 60 days, 60 years in one day. No. What we are doing is we are opening our eyes to become aware so that from now we can start working towards it. So anytime we discuss Nigeria, we discuss the challenges of Nigeria, I want to put it into a particular process. This is called, please can I have my slide, please? This is called the Human Capital Engineering Canvas. We call it the CK model, a transformation human liability to human assets. Now, let's explain. I'm going to make it easy. It's not a master class. I don't have 4 hours, so I'm going to make it as simple as I can. Please follow me. Now, for you to build a society, whether it's Kaduna State, local government, whether it's a community, whether it's a polling unit, you're going to have what they call the small unit of the family, which you call the family. So a man comes and then marries a woman. So what is the first product they are going to get when a man and a woman comes together? It is called a child, right? No, they have a child. So the first thing they do is they introduce their child to their religion. Follow me carefully. They will introduce their child to their religion. Then, after the child has been introduced to religion, the next thing the child will be introduced to is the culture. The child comes to the culture as the child is growing. Then after that, the next thing they will introduce the child to is to school. Now, it is expected that from the beginning of this place to the point of this place, a child is either 18 years or 24 years. Because it is expected at that point you have groomed a person. And then you supply the person to the society. So which means everybody you see in the society today, including you seated here, you pass through this process and then you were sent here. Now, it is true that God creates a human being, but the society manufactures a human being. God will create, but the society will manufacture it. So what it simply means is that this person is introduced to religion, introduced to culture, introduced to school, and then the person comes into the society. So at the point you get here, we would have known clearly whether you are a human asset or you're a human liability. Now, everybody that is a liability, this is a process that made it. Anybody that is an asset, this is the process also that made them an asset. So let's discuss the process, how it works. Now, if you are a Muslim faithful, and you have read the holy book, and you have followed the holy prophet, God bless him, and then you follow, you notice that the whole work of what you learn in the Islamic faith is about what you call the principles of life. It's going to teach you things like what we're talking about, honesty. That is where you learn things like being faithful. That's where you learn courage. That's where you learn love. It is not school that teaches you love. Let's be clear about it. It is not normal school that will teach you love. No. It is your religious background, your faith that comes with it. I do know, except I'm wrong, pardon me if I'm wrong, that Islam has what they call the 5 pillars of Islam, right? If you follow all of them, each of them will teach you good things on how to become a good person. So it is that from that process that you start learning not to steal, not to lie, to be sincere. All of those things when you learn, at the end of the day, is what you call principles. And what are principles? Principles are what today we call technology, we call it hardware and software. The first software of the universe is what you call principle. God that created the universe knows that we are going to relate together. And so he decided to teach us what will help me relate with you, whether I know you or I don't know you. So that for us to relate, I have to learn to be honest, truthful, and the rest. All of them is what you call principles. So when you introduce a child now to religion, the religion teaches the child the principles of life. Then you move from here, and the next thing is you introduce to culture. Now, what does culture do? You're introducing people to uncle, auntie, and the rest of them. So they started getting used to your food. Getting used to what you call marriage ceremony, burial ceremony. Everything that comes with it is what you call communal values. So which means after you've learned principles will move you to communal values. Why do you need communal value? That is what we're doing with common sense. Ability to discuss with each other. Ability to understand, to make peace. Even though I have a different idea, but we can discuss because we have what we call shared value. So we can discuss together. We can live together. So you come to values. At the point you have gotten to values, then the next thing is creativity. Because for a human being to be sensible, productive, and become an asset, your head must know how to think. Your heart must know how to love. Your hand must know how to create. Do you understand? For a human being to be sensible, to be an asset, your head must know how to think, your heart must know how to love, your hands must know how to be productive. Now, so this is why these 3 things are very important in manufacturing a human being. So this one will handle anything that has to do with the core part of hand, just so that you connect all of them together. Now, this is the problem we are facing in Nigeria. Everyone who have studied and have read, I've had opportunity to deal with those of the Muslim faith. I've had opportunity to read the Holy Quran. And I've had the opportunity to listen to the teachings. And even as a Christian, also I know my background. So if you put all of that together, here is healthy. Originally, all things being equal, here is supposed to be healthy. You know, our auntie here was also talking about education. So on a very good day, education here too is healthy. But this is the problem. When a bad person have access to this place, when someone who is not honest have access to religion, what does he do? He corrupts religion, adjusts religion. So the thing will move from what the Holy Prophet has said, God bless him, he now move to what they want to say. Hope you understand the difference. Originally, as it is, okay. But because a bad person now has an opportunity, don't touch this place. Because a bad person have an opportunity to control here, the person will start changing the parameter, lower the standard, start putting some lies into this place. So here they're supposed to teach you principle. What is it teaching you? It start teaching you broken principles. So you go here, but you don't come out to still be a good person. Because here they're supposed to make you a good person has been spoiled. Are you following me? Here they're supposed to make you a good person has been spoiled. And then if already you're spoiled here in principles, at the point you come here to the place of value, already, so at the point you come here, even though you are in a community too, you have been spoiled. And if the community is spoiled, even when you get to school, the school too has been spoiled. And that is why you see someone here who is an engineer, an expert, but a thief. That's why you see a doctor, very good, but still a thief. An accountant, yet still a thief. Because here that was supposed to repair the person, something has gone wrong. And now, how do you get leaders in a society? This is why our election cannot give us leaders. And I stand to be corrected. Bring any professor who will discuss it. And the reason is this. Elections happen in the society. Yeah. Before you get to the society, you pass through here. So if you come to religion and you lower standard and accept someone who is not honest, and the person comes to the community, you lower standard, accept someone who is not honest. When you come to school, you lower standard, accept someone who is not honest. When the person gets to the system, he's already spoiled. And there's nothing you can do. Anybody you see today that came out to contest for election passed through A, B, C. So if here did not stop the person, here did not stop the person, and here did not stop the person, it means the society like it like that. Because if you go back and think back to how we became a people, to when traditions and we respected, the dictates of the Holy Prophet, you will know that in those days, what was wrong at this level. You will not allow someone who is insincere, that has symbols and signs of stolen properties, to go and build a mosque. As a Christian, you will not allow someone whose hands are not clean to come and sit in the church, because the standard was high. So it simply means before the person even come out here, that way we're already selecting the right people for the system to have. But somewhere along the line, then someone has what they call character flaw problem. We know that this character will not help this person move, but we allow the person pass through here. And we explain and allow the person pass. And then the person comes here, we explain and the person pass. And that is why, show me anyone that is wrong in Nigeria, or that is doing something that is wrong in Nigeria, and I will show you where they come from. They are going to be either a Christian or Muslim. They are going to come from one community or the other. All the people you send to this place are broken people. They are human liabilities. And if you remember what I said earlier on, if you have more human liability in your circle or in your community, they will take decision above you. Because that's what democracy is. Democracy simply means if you have more madmen will win even the few good ones. The only way you stop this place from being corrupt is to make sure that our processes is healthy. It means we have to go back to make sure that what religion is, what our faith is originally what it is. Don't take from it, don't add from it. Standard cannot be lower. Either we get it properly or it is not what it is. Because when you start now to hold people to order, when you start from this place to stop people from doing bad, they won't get to the system. They won't get to what you call this society. If you start now to hold people from doing bad, they won't pass the culture to get to school. And if you can able to handle these two, the school will go well. And that is why when you were talking, Ma, when you were asking what is the problem of education, the problem of education is simple. You cannot educate a person who don't have a good heart. It's not possible. Even if you give them the skill. That's why they train military before they give them guns. If you give somebody that's not trained gun, that person becomes train the person to fear the injunction of God or not how to kill somebody. You have not trained the person to protect. Then you now give the person ammunition. Then you're going to destroy the person and destroy the system. You and I know. Yes, we don't have the best of capacity, but the little capacity we have is enough to develop the state. That's the truth for now. Maybe not too big, but good enough. But the people that are supposed to do that don't have the heart they love to do that. Because how will you find this here? You give somebody money to repair a road, but because he doesn't have the fear of God, what happens? The road will go. You give somebody money to develop education, but because he doesn't have the fear of God, the thing will go. You give some money to develop, the same road. Values. This is not who we are. You cannot go and shame us, because everybody that comes from this community, there are things we don't do. Except I'm wrong. But I grow up to see in history that in those days, if you steal, your family will be ashamed. I don't know whether I'm the only one that grew up to see that. In those days, when you steal, your family will be ashamed. But these days, if you steal, your family is proud. So tell me how, if we have a system that celebrates people who steal, tell me how we have a better society. I had an opportunity one time to do a program with someone. He was the coordinator, National Orientation Agency. And this was what we learned. Young people, when they come out from school, they are afraid to steal. When they write a proposal to government, they just write the normal figure, add some more money. But when you go, the person there will tell you, I couldn't hear you, increase it. After then, that person becomes a guru in increasing the thing. So the system that is supposed to help us be better people is the system that is still destroying us. So my message for us is, you cannot help a system. Okay, let me go back. Most of you were not here before. Let me explain something. There are three kinds of problem. I explained it a little bit earlier. Three kinds of problem. You have basic problem, you have complex problem, then you have wicked problem. And I said, basic problem simply means you have a problem, you're hungry, you want to eat, you take money, there's a place to buy food, you buy, and then you're good. Complex problem is when you have problems that come in different directions. You are hungry, but there's no food. You don't even have money to buy food. You don't even know where to buy the food. And actually, your doctor told you if you eat food, it will affect you. So at the end of the day, which one do you do, which one don't you do? That's what they call complex problem. Different problems by the side. Then there's a problem called wicked problem. And that is what I'm trying to solve with this, because that's what I've learned is the reason why Nigeria, the state, all of us are where we are. It's a problem where the person that's supposed to solve the problem is the problem. Have you ever seen, I will see you something very simple. Like I explained earlier on, the accountant that's supposed to make sure, him and the auditor, they were supposed to take care of the money and the one stealing the money. How do you solve that kind of thing? The father that's supposed to protect the daughter is the one molesting the daughter. What do you do about that? The Meangwa that you were thinking will protect the community is the one conniving with criminals to steal and, do wickedness to the community. What do you do about that? There's no amount of legislation that will solve it. The only thing that will solve it is if we correct it here. It is when the person changes before the whole result will change. We cannot change Nigeria except we change who we have become. Prayer is good. But any fair-minded person know that if you are praying in your religion, you know that one of the conditions of prayer is you must be a good person. So that when you open your hands, when you pray, God will hear you. So unfortunately, we don't want to change, but we want to change Nigeria. And that's where the wickedness of Nigerian problem is. The people who want to change the country are the ones who are destroying the country. And so I will leave you with these few lines. And the thing is this. There's a problem with wickedness. I've done some very good study within that field. And one of the things wickedness does is that there's a level of wickedness you attain to. You cannot even remember that you're wicked. You get used to it. It becomes normal. Now, we have so destroyed the state based on what we say, what we post. We have so insulted the country based on what we say, what we post, and what to do to each other. The suspicion, the mutual problems we have, so much that we are even finding it almost difficult to come back. When somebody says, let's live at peace, it's like, what is this person saying? If I encourage you, stop being stealing, it look like, what are you telling me? It's normal now. So it's a small matter. It's not a big deal. So an average young person is saying, Kaberniko, let me get there and cut my national cake. So the question now is this. If you go there and you're not adding value, you're going to be a liability. And forward is let's change ourselves. If we don't change, we can't do business well. If we don't change, if you build a road, we are going to spoil it. If you don't change, you do rail, we'll steal it. Not too long ago, we heard a story of somebody about stealing a whole. You know, there are things you hear in Nigeria, you ask yourself, as in, how do you steal a train coach? Where do you want to take it to? I teach creativity, I teach innovation, I teach iteration, I teach all of that. But sometimes my brain cannot comprehend what somebody was thinking. To go and put trailer and carry coach, train coach, and say you're stealing. Where are you taking it to? As in, I don't know, maybe I'm the one that have that problem. But my brain cannot just understand. When you steal, as in the coach of the train, where are you? Are you going to drive it on the road? Where are you driving it? So please, I want to leave you with this. I believe that God has blessed us as a people. I'm a Christian. I have the opportunity to have some very good understanding and relationship, with Islam. And so it gives me a clear understanding of what the world is all about. And I can tell you this. Anyhow you want to do it, you cannot succeed as a person, as a family, if you're not a good person. Can we see how we can, for once, I know we are used to, based on modeling, to see so many things that have gone wrong. For once, can we leave this program and say, can I be the right person in the system? Can I be the right person in my family? Can I be the right person in my school, in my business? Can I just be the one that's going to be that human asset that will add value to the table? Because that is the beginning we must get before we start talking about proper business. Because if you don't do that, even when you build a business, you steal from it. I'm a consultant. I see CEOs that steal from their business. And Saturday, bad in the eye. They are the CEO, but they must steal from their. And I just can't understand. And that was what gave me to understand that if you want to help any human being, help them to be a good person first. Then you can help them, teach them business on how to grow and scale up. I believe that at the end of the day, this is just the beginning of this conversation. I want to thank everyone for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, one more time, please. I think he deserves better round of applause, please. While he was talking, a lot was going through my mind. I'm actually, sometimes people think like this, and me, I think like this. I don't know why, but if you're into creative, you understand that that's how we've been designed. Excuse me. Time fast spent, so we have one more speaker that we're going to take. But before then, quickly, we're going to take a very, very light sound for 1 to 3 minutes thereabouts. So, because we want to rectify one or two things, and afterwards, we're going to take 1 or 2 goodwill messages and all that. Then we introduce Cindy. She just came in from, what country was that? Peru? Oh, good to have you here. Okay. You see, I noticed this very table, the life of this event, they are here. And this beautiful lady here, she's here. She's jotting down things. And I can see our daddy here as well, he's jotting. But some people are just busy. In their head, but you will learn a lot here, trust me. Like me, I've learned a lot, and I've met few persons here. A lot of things. Sorry. Okay, I'll go through this carefully. Now, there's this stuff we do. When the lady was talking about the peace, I was so excited because I have a peace agency. I don't know if you've heard of Maka Nation. Last year, I did event 3-in-1, first of its kind in Kaduna, Maka Peace Walk and Humanitarian Achievers Award. Reasons I brought that event, that was how I came to Kaduna. Reasons I brought that event, once you Google about Kaduna, you see negative things. So I came down here, I'm also a journalist. In between that, I did the research. I went out asking questions, way to solve the things happening in Kaduna. That was why I came. So if you've heard of Maka Nation, I'm the CEO, the founder. And what we do, we project peace in our little way. You know, I keep falling back to yesterday, the United Nations stuff that I went for. It's still for the growth of Kaduna. That's what we do. And we have 2 of our ambassadors here. We have Grace Dauda. She's face of humanitarian Maka Nation. Please, can you put your hands together for her, please? And all we do is in our own little way, because the truth is government can't do it alone. They can't do it alone, no matter how you look at it. So it's hard for you and I, if we can come together and just come up with something, we're going to change it. Now, Kaduna is on, is it red, what they call it? Now, all those foreigners, when you say they should come down to Kaduna, like last year, I was supposed to bring about 15 diplomats here, but they were all scared. But we here now, we can change narratives. We can change it. So events we did last year was to just put the name on that map and see how to change the whole thing. So this is a very, very good project. So please, any way you can, let's try and see how we'll take this. I believe the next edition will be bigger than this. And I think the organizer, you know, in nonsense, if you remove the non, you get sense. That's what it is. So I'm going to hand over the mic to the man on the wheel, DJ Bode, to thrill us for 3 minutes while I rectify 1 or 2 things, and I'll be back shortly. DJ, take it away.
I see the sweetest. Mama, you the sweetest. I see the sweetest. Eat them. I see the pen them. Mama, you the sweetest. I see the sweetest. Eat the pen them. I see the pen them. Mama, you the sweetest. Everybody want to follow me. Tell them I want to follow me. Steady on my mind, no money. I know the strength to the keep on it. Yeah. Wind up your body, got down. No, they test me, get your body, get down. You the sweet me when your body get down. Ginger me when your body get down. I see the sweetest, eat the pen them. I see the pen them, mama, you the sweetest. I see the sweetest, eat the pen them. I see the pen them, mama, you the sweetest. I see the sweetest, eat the pen them. I see the pen them, mama, you the sweetest. I see the sweetest, eat the pen them. I see the pen them, mama, you the sweetest. Everybody want to follow me. Tell them I want to follow me. Steady on my mind, no money. I know the strength to the I no go stop, not I no go flat to. If you try to my joy, better you go collect to. We will shout out, shout out. If you agree, mama laton. Party 2, at the party 1. Party 2, like the part 1. I go be to change your catwalk and change your life joy. Every day not to enjoy. Open and close like a laptop. Give you face in addition to bum. I no go lie about the crazy. Money like it on. Anytime you holla, make I come through. I go tell my girl, they come sweet. What can I miss you? Take my eye through. Any girl get, but now you have to. Baby, this your yash in a sheet up. If you agree, mama laton. Party 2, at the party 1. Party 2, like the part 1. I go be to change your catwalk and change your life.
Okay, so to continue with the program, we'll be taking goodwill messages shortly from Hajia Hassana, who is representing the Kaduna North Local Government Chairman, and Malam Adam Isa, who is representing the Nur Al-Nur Academy, and up to acknowledge the presence of Mama, the mother of the initiator of this great event, Hajiara Leah Salisu. Please put your hands together for Mama. So we want to thank her for raising and giving birth to this valuable and industrious citizen of this community. Then secondly, we would like to acknowledge the presence of Hajia Hawa Abubakar Usman, founder of the Amatullah Orphans, living as a